Hey, this is Scary Dave, and I'm responding to Zipster's Show Us Your Tattoo piece, the vlog that he did about how he got high on Quaaludes and went out and got tattooed by a drunk man. I'm not sure what the point was. Are we supposed to tell our own tattoo story or just show you our tattoo? Either way, here's my response. I'm going to give out a little bit of advice, and my goals here are, I'm going to show off a couple of my tattoos. I've got a few of them, a little over 200. I'm going to respond to what Zipster had to say in his story. And I want to give out a little bit of advice to those of you that are thinking about getting tattoos, how to keep from getting messed up tattoos, and also answer a few questions that I keep getting about my tattoos. So those are the goals for this video. Let's see if we can knock all three of them down. When I first started getting tattooed, they still had a sort of a stigma attached to them. And it was sort of like only bad people did it. And if you were a woman that had a tattoo, oh, you were either a biker chick or a hooker. But these days, every 14-year-old girl's got something stamped on the back of her back. I think they call it a tramp stamp now, and it's just sitting right across the top of your pants. You know what? Tattoos go back farther than religion, even though in the beginning, tattoos were a very religious sort of a thing. They were sort of a rite of passage. If you don't want to feel pain, don't get a tattoo, you fucking pussy. That's kind of like saying, I want to have kids, but I don't want to lose any sleep over it. Anyway, there's 3 simple rules to remember if you want to have a tattoo. Rule number 1, figure out what it is that you want to get, put it on a piece of paper, and then nail it to the wall all over your house. Put it everywhere you're ever going to have to look at it. The front door, the back door, the bathroom door, the kitchen, the refrigerator door, your mirror. Put it everywhere. Put it on the steering wheel on your car. Put it on the bumper in front of you. Make sure you got to look at it all the time. Then wait 3 months. If after 3 months you're not completely fucking sick and tired of looking at that picture, it might be a good idea to tattoo it on your body. Don't go into a tattoo shop without any fucking idea what you want, with just the idea, I want to get a tattoo, and pick the nearest fucking cheap-ass butterfly off the wall and say, oh yeah, that's what I want tattooed to my skin for the rest of my life. We all sort of get dropped into stereotypes whether we like it or not, and when stupid people walk into tattoo shops and pick stupid tattoos, they're going to look stupid for the rest of their life. It kind of makes the rest of us tattooed people look like we're a little stupid too. We don't like that. One thing we really hate is when stupid people walk up to us and go, hey, look at my Mickey Mouse tattoo on my dick, ain't it cool? And we just have to, fucking stupid. You know, tattoos are really where they come from. It's supposed to mean something. It's supposed to be something about your life that means something. You know, when I got my tattoos, I lived in a house that there was a full wall mirror. When you got out of the shower, you were forced to look at yourself standing there naked. Luckily, back then, I still looked pretty good, so I didn't mind. Anyway, and I thought to myself, when I get out and I'm standing naked in front of the mirror, I want to be reminded about who I am, where I want to be, and what I want to accomplish. And I wanted to remind myself of my ideals. Pick something that means something to you. Rule number 2 is, while you're waiting that 3 months, save up for it. Don't try to get it on the cheap. Don't try to get it, down the street or in some guy's garage. Don't look for a stupid fucking price. Pay as much as you have to get the best artist you possibly can. The best. If you have to drive 2 hours each way to get to him, then do it. You'd do it for heart surgery, wouldn't you? So why wouldn't you do it for a tattoo? Because otherwise you're going to get stuck with some fucker's mistake. Look around at the tattoos that are around you and notice that 80 to 90% of them, if you saw them on a Christmas card, you'd say, there's a motherfucker that can't draw. But these people will take something that is as artistic as a lump of coal, and then they'll stick it on their arm and they'll wave it at you and go, hey, isn't that fucking great? And you're supposed to say, oh yeah, it's wonderful. It's fucking, oh yeah, Michelangelo all over again. Fuck that. I hate it when people put shitty tattoos in front of me and tell me, oh hey, tell me how great it is. It just pisses me off, because you want to be polite, but Jesus, there's some crap out there. Rule number 3, just go back to rule number 1 and do something that matters, for Christ's sake. Quit getting this stupid shit that just, a black panther that's digging into your ass, and his legs are on backwards, and the muscles are all in the wrong place, and no one knew how to shade that fucker, and there he is, just taking up a big chunk of your ass. No, that's just wrong. There is one more little rule, which is, if you print the name of your wife or girlfriend on you, or your husband or boyfriend, as soon as you get it tattooed on there, you're not going to last another year. It's sort of like a curse, you know? You just don't get to do it. You don't tattoo someone's name on you unless it's your kid or someone who's already dead, so they can't fucking piss you off. Now, this does bring up a little story. I did kind of break that rule once myself. It caused me a lot of grief for a little while. I got into a concert that Brian Setzer was doing for the Brian Setzer Orchestra. And, well, when I had first met my wife at the time, it was the 80s, and I was a dancer, and she was a kind of like a groupie, I guess you might call them. Anyway, I was really into the Stray Cats at the time, and I eventually got a tattoo of a stray cat on my arm by the guy that did all their tattoos. He used to be in the band, but he never made it, you know, to when they were big time. He was a saxophone player. You know how we've never seen the saxophone player. Anyway, so when I went to this concert, I took a pen with me, and she saw me taking this pen. I was looking around for a Sharpie pen, and she was like, "What are you going to do with that?" It don't matter, it don't matter. And she's like, "What are you going to do? You're never going to get his tattoo. You're never going to get his signature. You'll never do it. Everybody wants it. There's a million people. You're never going to." I was like, you know, just leave me alone. You saw my video on people that try to tell you what you can't do. Fuck you. So, there it is. Brian Setzer. Anyway, I tattooed this fucker on, and I never heard the end of it. How I tattooed his name on my arm, but I wouldn't do it to hers. Used to drive her insane. But you know what? I never had to sleep next to him. I never had to wake up next to him. I never had to listen to him fucking nagging me all the time. But no, I'm not bitter. Yes, dear. All right, so we got that bullshit out of the way. So now, there have been some questions about my tattoos. I can't show all of them to you just because. I've got some stuff up here that's Egyptian sitting right next to North American Indian. I got the raven and the thunderbird sitting next to the eyes of Ra. I've got something under here that people have been asking about. This is the most chanted thing in the world. It basically means the jewel in the heart of the lotus. You can look it up if you want. It's written in either Sanskrit or Aramaic. I've heard it said both ways. I've got that first one, which is Pegasus. It was about strength and grace and gentle and all at the same time. A mix. It's about a balance. You know, I've got the yin-yang going on here with the first hexagrams. Yin-yang being a balance sort of thing. I'm all about balance. I got a lot of symmetry going on. There's, tattoos show up better on film if you get them a little wet. There's the armor. I have a lot going on in my philosophy about learning how to drop the armor. I also have a thing about the angel Michael. I've got Michael and Gabriel's names tattooed on my wrists. I've got the stigmata in here on the wrists. But tattooed the stigmata on. It's not showing very well. And then I stitched it up, and that was about being separated from my kids and surviving the ordeal. Then I have on my back, I've got some wings. I don't know how well this is going to show. Angel wings with armor on the leading edges. It really comes down to my philosophical point of view, my history, and then I've also got things like, right here is the names of my children written across here. They're hidden in flames because I don't necessarily want people to know what the names of my children are. And then over here I've got the same things backwards. They only work in a mirror. So those are the sort of things that I've got. This one is a compass that always points. I didn't live with my kids for a great many years. I moved to Missouri so I could live near my kids. This compass, when I lived in California, it was pointed, if you look at south and east, my finger always points southeast, which is where my kids were at the time. So very well thought out. Hey, motherfucker. And that is right there my favorite tattoo. It goes along with my last rant, don't let the bastards get you down. I like it that it's here for me, and nobody can take it away. Ever.